So space, having enough space for your Star Wars collection is always an issue. That was what kept this room from coming together for a long time. Um, you just get more and more stuff, or you want to bring more of your stuff out of storage, and it's like just finding the space to display it is pretty tough. This shelf was a big help. I had this shelf for a long time, but this past Christmas break, I said I'm a school teacher, so I had some free time. It just came to me. I was like, it only had like 3 shelves in it, but now, you know, I just added tons of shelves inside it, and that really allowed me just to display stuff, a lot better. So why don't we focus in on this shelf? Let's see what we got. Well, let's look at the side of the shelf here. It's not super exciting. We got a one of those expensive lightsabers a friend of mine bought me, and then a little Hasbro one. They both light up. These were some 90s big figures. Kind of regret buying a lot of that 90s stuff. Some of it was cool, but most of it was like, whatever. Got a lot of it on this, just packed up in boxes. And it's not worth anything, when it first comes out. They're like, oh, it's worth so much money, find the Boba Fett with the triangle on his hand instead of the circle. It's worth $60, and this and that, and variations and all that bull crap, and it's like, you hunt it all down, you get it, you're all excited, think you're gonna, retire with this junk, and then 20 years later, now you can buy either Boba Fett with the triangle or the circle, you get it for $1, $2, on the card, so I kind of laugh now at these guys that like buy the Black Series figures, like, oh yeah, just I paid, $80 for this figure or whatever. Just wait 20 years from now, you can probably get all that Black Series stuff, in the box, mint condition, $5, maybe $10. I do like those figures. They do look really cool, but the prices are just stupid. This was, I think this was called Elusive something or other. They made this. Jabba the Hutt. They made a Yoda. They made a Han and Carbonite. Pretty cool stuff. This Jabba, he's made out of foam latex. He's kind of hardened over the years. I have a little sign here. Jabba's holding it. Says, "Please do not touch Jabba." In my old Star Wars room, people would always come in and like, I'd tell them he was made out of foam, and they'd like jam their finger into his stomach, and it was, about came unglued. So people don't know this stuff breaks. All right, second shelf, Jedi fighter of some sort, droid fighter. Got some hallmarks. This was an NPC model kit. Came with, I think it was Hoth. Had a bunch of ships. Had them for years, didn't know what to do with them. The last couple of years I just spray painted them all silver. Looks pretty cool, There's one of those droid fighter, STAP, whatever, I don't know. This was cool. This was a little model kit. It's a wind-up AT-AT Snowwalker. You like crank the little key there, and he kind of shuffles along. You had to build it, so it was pretty cool. Original Scout Walker. I had an Atari 2600. I was like, back in the day, those were like the PlayStation 4s or whatever. This was one of my favorite games. Was the Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. I don't know what happened to the tape. I think my mom gave it to a thrift store or something, but I saved the box, so that's pretty cool. Got that. Here's a I don't know what that is. Darth Vader on his hog. I don't know where that came from. That's another thing as a collector. People just give you stuff. It's like people, oh, you got a lot of Star Wars stuff? I got this thing. Would you like it? You know, of course you're going to say, yeah, you know. Even though most of the stuff you get is just, you know, not that great. But, you know, occasionally you will get something good. You know, you don't want to turn down anything that they'll think you're stuck up or rude or something. What is that? Y-Wing. That was my original one. Got all that stuff. You know, there's an original X-Wing. What's that? Shadows of the Empire statue. Had that game, Super Star Wars for the Super Nintendo. It was like super annoying. One of those run and jump nightmares. Let's see, next shelf up. My Slave One. Still got the Haunted Carbonite that came with it. This was a Action Masters die-cast figure. You had to mail away for this special C-3PO. This was some of the die-cast stuff that Kenner put out. Twin Pod Cloud Car. Oh, there's another one of those Sear sets. This one was really cheap. It was all just paper. It was the Bespin Carbon Freezing Chamber Cloud City thing. Yeah, I keep it kind of tucked away, you know, because it's basically, you know, it's just made out of cardstock. This little cannon was funny. I found this in the dumpster at Kmart like, I don't know, 30 years ago. It had the box and everything. It was missing like one piece. It was like it was a return, so they just chucked it. But then Kenner had this thing called We Really Do Care. You know, if you got one of your toys and it was missing a piece, let us know and we'll mail you that piece. So I told him, hey, my little cannon here was missing a piece, and so my dumpster find became a complete thing. So pretty cool. This was one of the last ships I bought. This was the Tatooine skiff. It was pretty cool. It's pretty fragile though. It's got a lot of skinny pieces on it, but all the levers and stuff still work on it. I put Hallmark figures on it. Hallmark Slave Leda. Yeah, some talking little figurines in the back. This was a 90s TIE bomber. Pretty cool. This is like, I don't know what this was. I think it was Micro Machines Shadows of the Empire or something or other. Oh, looks like somebody fell over. That's another thing. You set all this stuff up, you know, and you come in constantly and find your stuff falls over. This was one of my first ships, the Stormtrooper troop carrier, troop transport. Now, had little buttons on top. And you'd push it, and it would say stuff, and make sound effects. This I don't know, it was either this one or the skiff was the last ship I bought. I actually bought it new. This was from the Droids cartoon that was on television. Yeah, pretty cool. Some Hallmark stuff. This was Darth Vader TIE Fighter. I think I bought this towards the end of my teenage years. It was on a clearance or something. Twin Pod Cloud Car. That's funny now. This is a mug, a Scout Trooper mug. You know, you compare that to the one that I wanted, you know, when I was a kid. And the details just so much better. I like the mugs they're putting out now. I've bought quite a few. Back in the shadows here, there's some Star Wars Elite figures. I just bought a bunch that were on clearance and just took them out of the package. Okay, that's an ornament. I got another one of those Sigma banks, Jabba the Hutt banks. Oh yeah, there's a That was another, I think it was a mini rig or something. It's got the blue snaggletooth in it. That was kind of a cool story. There was a little collectibles shop in the city where I live, and I saw it in there, and the guy wanted like $50 for it. And I was like, you know, I went out. My friend gave me the Boba Fett that I gave him. He gave it back to me, you know, and it lost all its pieces, and the back of it was like pretty much brown from laying out in the sun and the dirt. I said, hey, how about I trade you this for it? And he's like, oh, all right, how about that? And $20. And I went back out to my car, and I had a busted up Skywalker. I was like, how about this? And he's like, all right, I'll take that, and $10. So I got rid of some trash that I, you know, didn't even want. I was busted up Star Wars stuff. Got my blue Snaggletooth for like $10 and some trades. So that was a pretty cool deal. Alright, so this is my Jabba playset. I've got some Hallmark figures kind of around it. They look so much better, you know, these figures look so much better than the action figures, you know, even though they're frozen in their pose. Oh, this was the Kenner Sice Noodles Max Rebo band. Oh wait, that Jabba there, that was a mug, I'm sorry. This is the bank. I had got two of those banks. Alright, and then got some serious shadows going on here. There's some of the new 90s stuff, you know. Took a few of it out of the box. That R2-3PO back there, that was like one of the last Hallmark ornaments I bought. I was like, you know, it like came out, and before you could even get to the store, it was like sold out. So I ended up paying like double on eBay for it, and that's when I decided I'm done. So, you know, now I only buy a Hallmark ornament if I see it on clearance. Let's see, anyway, top shelf are just some masks that I've had. Some are some old, some are newer. I think this was a Dawn Post. These two are Dawn Post masks. This was a voice changing clone trooper, voice changing Darth Vader. Very top shelf, that was like one of the first Boba Fett mask. Dawn Post, I think. Child's mask. It's a whole head mask. It's pretty cool. I don't know where that came from. Darth Maul, some Skywalker. A lot of stuff you just like, you forget you even have it. You know, you got so much stuff, and just, you know, I don't know what those are. Swoop bikes or something. This was I don't know where this mask came from. A friend of mine got it for me. Anyway, that's that shelf. It really came together this year. Alright, well, my battery died, but I'm back. It's May 7th. This shelf right here I built, I think, 2 summers ago when I was on summer break. And it's kind of coming together. I'm having a hard time figuring out what to do with some of it, but let's check it out. It's got a lot of newer stuff on it. The shelf. These are those goblets that come out at like Christmas time. And looks like some Hallmark figures. They're pretty cool. I like ceramic stuff, so I buy that. I bought these mugs within the last year or so. There's that little BB-8 app-enabled droid. This thing's pretty old. This is a battle damaged TIE fighter. Push the back and the wings collapse on it like it crashed. I think they fold up too, like it. Okay, some more mugs. I think this is the only Lego Star Wars thing I own. Lego Star Wars is crazy expensive. It's cool. I'm just not into it. Alright. And let's see, what's that? Star Wars Galaxy trading cards. Got like a billion of those. Next shelf, let's see. Oh yeah. A friend of mine worked a convention, got Peter Mayhew to sign this card for me. Pretty hard to read his name. Must have had a hard time signing that something that small. He just died last week. It was kind of sad. This is my stuffed Chewbacca. Had that thing forever and ever. It's pretty old. Giant Pez Chewbacca. This frisbee in the back here. This was a giveaway from Burger King. You know, when you get the glasses, you could. I don't know, somehow I won that. Empire Strikes Back frisbee. Never played with it though. I still got it. Let's see. This is a pretty old model. I just spray painted it silver. Some Taco Bell cups. Mighty mugs. This is just kind of a mishmash shelf. This is a big figure set from the 90s. I worked at KB Toys for a while, a few years. I liked working there. It was a pretty cool store. And that was an exclusive set they had there. Alright. On to the next shelf. 90s Wampa. These are Funko Pops. I'm not really into Funko Pops, but they put out a set of mugs. I like those, so I got those. I still need to get the Chewbacca one. There's a 90s or 2000 Rancor. Old Luke. These were those geek, whatever, Think Geek Tiki Cups. Got the second set and a couple from the first set, but got into those a little late, so I don't have all those. These are those miserable Taco Bell things. Episode 1, Taco Bell. I ate at Taco Bell more than I ever wanted to. Just so I could get all of them. Got those, yeah, Taco Bell. It's great. Great for loosening up your bowels. Alright, next shelf. Just some big figures from the 90s. There's one of my Darth Vader cases back there. This is pretty cool. This is a little wind-up little music thing. Plays, I think it's some little Ewok song. That's from the Sigma collection. Got that on eBay. This is my indoor thing. I forgot the rest of the set, but it just wouldn't fit on my shelf, so I just kind of took the trees out and put a few of the things in. My Ewok combat glider. I've got 2 of those from somewhere. Some vintage speeder bikes. Hallmark ornament. Let's see. Next shelf up. I do have one Funko Pop right there. Oh, there's another mug. Got some mugs right here. Yeah. These are all pretty new. Well, no, these are actually from the 80s. The Ewok and the Luke. So they're about 30 years old. These are pretty new. The Chewie. The K2SO. Death Star. Death Trooper. Shock Trooper. Got a shelf within a shelf here. I think most of this is Hallmark stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hallmark. A lot of them, like, you know, play songs or sound effects, things like that. And then these are some more little mugs up top here. I got jillions of mugs. My thing. Alright, so the top, let me back up a bit. So the Vader that's in the background, that was a display for the Star Wars trilogy. I don't know. Maybe when it came out on DVD, I don't know. Got that. I've got the Darth, the R2-3PO, the Stormtrooper, and Chewbacca one. Let's see. I bought these Amidala dolls. I got those on eBay. Pretty cheap. They're like 15 bucks a piece plus shipping. I just thought, you know, the dresses on them were pretty cool. You know. Got that. There's a piece of my old Death Star playset from the 70s. C-3PO action figure case. C-3PO cookie jar. His head comes off. Supposedly you can store cookies in it. Oh yeah. Back here, my Revenge of the Jedi poster. My mom bought it for me back in the 80s. I don't know. Could be real. Could be counterfeit. I don't know. Hard to say. This is the Rey Black series. It was pretty cool. Except her arm doesn't bend, you know. Like I said before, Black figures, or the Black series. Not the most best quality, but, you know. I've only got one figure still on the card of my early figures. This was the Tri-Logo Biker Scout. AT-AT. Got a couple of AT-ATs. Got this at my local Goodwill. It's a clock radio. Millennium Falcon. That's pretty cool. I was going through my comics the other day and I found this comic here. It's the first appearance of Boba Fett in a comic book. So I decided I better bag it and put a card on it. Might be worth something someday. This is the Death Star ornament. Maybe I'll turn that on in a second. It's Hasbro Star Destroyer. Chewbacca cookie jar. I've got about several cookie jars. This is the R2-3PO store display from Walmart. Take a break here. I'll turn on the ornament Death Star. It's pretty cool. So here's this is a Christmas tree topper. Hallmark put it out. Death Star. Has a little remote. You push the button. So there you have it. That's pretty cool, huh? My sister won that off of some Hallmark Facebook contest, so that was pretty sweet. I couldn't. It was like 99 bucks, you know. I'm a poor teacher, so can't really afford that. But it's cool. Here's the wall. I bought a few plates. Got, like, I had some outside. These were from the Hamilton something collection. Got a few over here. Yeah. That's pretty cool. What else do I got on the wall? Got a couple original Han Solo blasters. They make this horrible screeching sound instead of like a blaster sound. They go just grinding metal sound. It's pretty bad.